What's the best sex advice anyone has ever given you? Forget about any hang-ups you have about your body. If you are at the point where clothes are coming off, the other person does not care about your perceived personal flaws, they just want to be with you. Don't expect someone to just know what you want. Tell them. If she says, "Don't stop, don't go harder," do exactly what you are already doing. Someone told us to ditch the PJs and sleep naked. Frequency of sex increased almost immediately. Anticipation and foreplay. If you really build it up the right way, she'll be practically forcing you to fuck her. Use the underside of your tongue when going down on a girl, it's smooth unlike the top and feels better. My dad told me this when I was 18 and he dropped me off at college. He is a wise man. When doing it doggy style, have the woman lay completely flat on the bed with a few pillows under her stomach and waist. This creates a great angle for you enter her from behind, and deeper penetration. I as a guy, for some reason, had a lot of lesbian friends when I was younger. They all tended to give the same advice when eating out, and my wife says it paid off. Slow at first. Save the speed up for later. Surface area is important. Make your tongue as wide as possible at first. Later you can target to increase intensity. She'll tell you what she likes by her reactions. Pay attention to them and keep doing what makes her moan. Save what makes her scream for intense moments. Keep going until she starts pushing your head away or she flat out tells you to stop. She may get multiples. It's a good thing. For ladies, don't be self-conscious about your body, just go on top. He's going to think it's sexy as hell no matter what you think you look like. Don't use porn as a reference. Not everyone is going to have a horse cock, and positions look as awkward as they seem when you're doing it. Your sex doesn't have the production quality of a porno. To all men, do not stay quiet. Moan. We like it. This wasn't advice that I was given, exactly, but it was something that I learned the hard way. One fateful afternoon back when I was an adolescent, I made the mistake of telling my then girlfriend about a particularly bizarre dream that I'd had, in which I'd gotten turned on by tomatoes. Rather than causing her to laugh, the concept seemed to intrigue her, and she offered the idea of covering my nether regions with ketchup and then licking it off, which, after some hesitation, I agreed to try. It wasn't the sandwich sauce itself that was appealing to me, mind you, so much as it was the prospect of finally receiving oral sex. We'd had copious amounts of penetrative sex, but the girl had always claimed that fellatio made her gag. Anyway, the ketchup went on, and I was treated to a round of messy, tingly, and thoroughly half-hearted licking. When it eventually became clear that neither of us were really enjoying the activity, I suggested that we just skip ahead to the fun part. There was still the small problem of my downstairs area looking like a scene from a third-rate slasher flick, but we figured that we could both clean up after the fact. Teenage hormones may have been a factor. We soon discovered how monumentally stupid we had been. Rather than providing any sort of lubrication, the ketchup almost seemed to act like a surprisingly abrasive variety of glue. Our solution, idiotically enough, was to apply more of it, and then even more when the first addition only exacerbated things. In the end, we were both left unsatisfied, and the young woman in question wound up with an infection of some variety or another. That was the day when I learned a very important lesson, and one which I hope will benefit you. TLDR, ketchup absolutely does not work as an effective sexual lubricant. Guys, if you can feel your fingernail when you scratch the inside of your cheek, then your nails are long. Don't do it in Alabama. At first, treat it like a butterfly on a flower, then gradually go down on her like a dog eating lasagna. Don't be a dummy, nut on her tummy. I only have 3 kids because of that advice. Think less about what you can get from sex and more about what you can give to it, make it mutual and not one-sided. Some girls buck like a bronco when you eat them out. Don't be afraid to get your arms around their hips for better stability. Never pull the anal beads out like your rip starting a lawnmower. No one gave me this, but I think it's important to just relax and have fun. Stop trying to be the god of sex and you will have better sex. If you don't like what's happening, say it. Stick them with the pointy end. Guys, when you're entering her, push just the head in and out for a bit. That feels so good. If I was already incredibly aroused and you just moved the head of your cock in and out of my opening for a bit, phew. If you told me to bark like a dog, woof babe. That move is kryptonite. Make it about her. You will get off because she is enjoying it. If you by chance don't get off, she will make up for it because you were so attentive. Not advice someone gave me, but advice I want to give others. Your first time will be a little awkward, and as a guy you might find it hard to keep it up or come. That's okay. The first time I had sex, which was actually with my current GF, I was so nervous, but it was okay and she was accepting. Just relax, try to enjoy, and let nature take its course. Just pick one. They all cost the same. Give directions. Every woman is different. How the hell is a guy supposed to figure out what you like if you don't let him know? Give up control. Don't worry about your flabs, faces, noises, whatever. If I learned anything, it's that a man goes crazy for a woman that fucks with self-confidence. Treat anal beads like a Beyblade. When doing anal, use lube. Plenty of lube, and when you think you've used too much, use more. I was asking my friend how the hell to give my girl oral cause I suck ass at it, and she tells me up front. He told me, it's not just about the tongue, bro. There are tons of erogenous zones on a girl's body. Maybe stop thinking with your tongue and use your hands also, you fucking moron. I looked up erogenous zones and kinda had a good visual sense for what to try to do, so I followed it. Started touching her more, avoided the vaginal area completely, and she came. She had never fucked me better than when I actually got her off. Laugh because sex is really silly and awkward once you think about it. My stepdad advised me to get really good at eating pussy. He said 99% of women aren't going to mind if you practice, so go to town every chance you get. He was totally right. I've dated a lot of women who were way out of my league in terms of looks, including ones who were just friends, until I casually offered to eat them out when the opportunity arose. The key, if you're curious, is to insist on no reciprocation and no strings. In my experience, most women, like most men, are not going to turn down head, even if they're not really attracted to you, as long as they don't feel like they have to do anything in return. Then almost without fail, once I managed to get them in the bedroom and make them come, they were suddenly into me. Save the last quarter of an inch for someone you love. Post I previously made that I think could still help somebody. Okay, I'm not really a pro, but coming from a girl who hated anal to now loves it, I'd say I'm pretty experienced. Anywho, I just wanted to share some tips for those who struggle. Firstly, the most important thing is lubes. No, not Astroglide or any other lubes you'll find at your local drugstore. For anal, you'll want to go to your local sex shop. You want something natural. I know most will say silicone-based, and I agree that's good, but I prefer water-based. I use Sliquid H20. Every drugstore lubes I've used has made my asshole burn in the most uncomfortable way. If you're a guy and a girl tells you it burns, stop immediately if you ever want her to try anal again. Take a day off trying and go out and buy a new lube. It's like pouring salt into an open cut. It's absolutely torturous. Next, being turned on before penetration is huge. Your ass will not cooperate if you're mentally not checked in yet. Some things I like is getting into doggy positions while my BF licks my clit while lightly fingering my ass. Or him licking my ass while teasing my clit with his fingers. There's a lot you can do. But plugs and small dildos with some clit stimulation will definitely get you prepped. Now that you're primed and ready, get your clit vibrators ready. It's not necessary, but it seriously makes things feel so amazing, and also will distract you from any discomfort of being new to anal. You'll be so horny that your insecurities won't even cross your mind, or that anal makes you feel like you have to poop. Yes, it's normal, and you'll stop feeling like that once you get comfortable with doing anal. My last piece of advice, and what will help you, is first back to lube for a second, use a ton. Now you may be thinking that in typical doggy style the man controls the speed, but you do. It's way too hard to leave it to the guy to get things going. He can't feel what you do, so it's best you ease your way back onto him so that you do not get hurt. But how, you ask? It's actually rather simple. All you need to do is push like you're trying to poop and slide back. A little at a time. Take a rest for a few seconds to concentrate on the vibrator you have on your clit, then keep going until he's completely in you. After you're feeling comfortable, let him know when he can begin taking control. Have him move slowly and tell him when he can pick up the speed. You're going to be hot little sex goddesses in no time, ladies. Enjoy. Just thought I'd share because surely there are girls like me who really want to figure it out and so far have been striking out. Or maybe you're a guy who wants to help your girlfriend. Hope it helps. Pay attention to her breathing. So long as she is still doing that, you're good. Boy, you better stay away from that hoe. She'll put some shit on you that Ajax won't take off. I didn't listen, caught crabs. Guys like it when you take charge. Most girls are really quiet and reserved, and when they get horny they don't really know what to do. I used to be one of those girls, but over time I learned that anytime I got horny I could just reach over and start handling my man's junk. He got super turned on by me just grabbing what I wanted, and it's honestly super liberating to have that power. I give him head almost every day just because I love hearing him moan. He never complains about how sex crazed I am, even though I'm horny like 90% of the time. I love kissing his neck and grabbing his butt, and being on top is great. Guys aren't always wanting to be the ones who take charge. I wish I knew this sooner. Boys should keep their fingernails trimmed so that she doesn't get scraped when he plays with her labia and clit. If you cannot laugh about having sex with the person you're having sex with, probably not a good idea to have sex with them. My grandfather always says, eat your yogurt without a spoon. You thank me later. I never really understand why he said that. Now I understand, and she thanks.